Hello and welcome to episode 5 of QuickStep's Quick Guides, the series where I quickly guide you through the various aspects of Minecraft, teaching you the basics you need to know in order to play the game. This episode is all about exploring the overworld and how to do so without getting lost and losing your base. So let's just get straight into it. Before going anywhere, you'll need to make sure you're well equipped. Depending on what your main goal for exploring is, the exact gear you'll need will vary. For example, if you plan on gathering loads of resources, then an ender chest or shulker boxes would be recommended if you have them. But the main things that will come in useful on pretty much any trip include a full set of armor plus a weapon of some sort. I favour both a sword and a bow, but an axe or crossbow would also work. I also take a shield to help with skeletons. A pickaxe and any other tools you know you'll need, or at least enough materials to craft them, should be in your inventory. A map or compass will help with navigation. I'll talk more about those later on. Torches are essential if you plan on going into any caves you find. They can also help mob-proof an area if you haven't got a bed with you. On that note, a bed will allow you to skip the night. Just remember that whenever you break the last bed you slept in, you'll reset your spawn point back to the world spawn. After 3 nights without sleeping, phantoms will start appearing in the sky. These flying mobs will swoop down to attack during the night, so having a bed will also prevent these flying annoyances from spawning. Take some building blocks like dirt with you in case you need to bridge across a gap or tower up to get out of a cave you fell in, and a bucket of water will come in handy for many things when exploring, such as clearing lava or putting yourself out if you catch on fire. You can also use a well-timed water bucket to prevent fall damage. And since you'll need food, taking some with you is always a good idea, but carrying a flint and steel will ensure you can get cooked food anytime you need it by setting fires next to animals so they drop cooked meat instead of raw. Alternatively, having fire aspect on your sword or axe or flame on your bow will also guarantee cooked meat drops. But making sure you have a crafting table and a few spare resources means you can always craft what you need on the go, including a furnace if you need another way of cooking food. Now you're geared up, let's talk about some of the things you'll come across when exploring. You may find a number of different structures on your journeys. Some of these are limited to certain biomes, such as igloos, desert temples and jungle temples, while others can be found almost anywhere like villages and pillager towers. Almost all of them will contain some kind of loot, but some will have booby traps or mobs, so be careful when exploring structures. You will also likely notice the terrain change quite a bit on your journey. This means you have found a different biome. A biome is an area in Minecraft that represents different types of geographical locations such as jungles and snowy terrain like the Arctic, or deserts and swamps. Each biome has different naturally generating blocks, items and mobs in them, such as bamboo, jungle trees, cocoa beans, parrots and ocelots are all only found in jungles, while sand, sandstone, cacti and husks are common in deserts. Biomes and their differences is a large topic best saved for a future episode, but different biomes may affect which method of transport you'll want to use. So what about actually travelling then? Well, the most obvious way to travel is on foot, which is fine for small trips but can be a bit slow and dangerous for longer ones. But horses can be tamed and equipped with a saddle. They can then be ridden to travel faster. Donkeys are similar but can have chests equipped for extra storage. You have a selection of animals you can ride with their own differences, but the basic mechanics for each are similar. None of them will be of use when you come across large oceans, however. You could choose to swim of course, but a boat will make sailing the seas a lot quicker and safer. To craft a boat you need 5 planks in a U shape and a wooden shovel in the middle, making them cheap to build, so as long as you have enough wood, you can always craft one if you need it. And if you do have a horse with you, you can jump in the boat and attach a lead to it to pull it across the water. The fastest way to get around though is with an elytra and some fireworks, which allows you to fly and cover larger areas in less time. This also has the added benefit of making oceans much easier to cross, but being an endgame item, elytras won't be any help if you've not been playing your world for very long. So how do you find your way back to base when you've gotten lost? Or better yet, how do you prevent yourself getting lost in the first place? Well, one way is to leave torches or blocks as a trail of breadcrumbs to follow back, but this can quite quickly drain resources and makes things look messy. One of the best ways of navigating the overworld is by turning on coordinates in settings and making a note of your current coordinates, specifically the first and last numbers, or the X and Z coordinates. These show you where you are in the world along the 2 horizontal axes. The middle number, or Y coordinate, just shows you how high in the world you are. Coordinates can also help you find the cardinal directions like north and south if you know how to read them. The X coordinate shows west to east. If it's going down to 0 or negative value is getting larger, then you're heading west. If it's getting higher than 0, then you're heading east. The Z coordinate goes from north to south. If it's getting larger, you're heading south. Going towards 0 or negative numbers means you're facing north. A better option, if your base is near the world spawn, or you know how to get to your base from there, is to craft a compass like I mentioned earlier. You can craft the compass by placing one redstone dust in the middle of a crafting table with an iron ingot on each side. Instead of north, compasses always point to the world spawn. Alternatively, you can craft the map using 9 paper in a crafting table, or to save resources, 1 paper in a cartography table. Cartography tables can be crafted with 4 planks and 2 paper. Maps show a bird's eye view of the surface of the area it was first created in, and it will fill in with more detail as you walk around with it in your hotbar or offhand. By placing a map in a cartography table with a blank piece of paper, you can create a zoomed out map. This process can be done up to 4 times per map. Maps reset when zoomed out and will need to be filled in again, but they will only become a zoomed out map of the area it was originally created in, even if it's created 1,000 blocks away the second time round, but this time it will show more of the surrounding area. Maps and compasses can be combined to make a locator map, which is a regular map that shows where players are and what direction they're facing using coloured pointers. This is the best way to avoid getting lost when exploring in my opinion, however carrying it runs the risk of losing it if you die. So to combat this problem, you can make a copy of a map by placing any kind of map in the first slot with a blank map in the second, and leaving one at your base in an item frame. The map in the item frame will be displayed on your copy with a green pointer so you can easily find your way back. And having a copy means you don't have to fill in a whole new map if you lose one, as the one in the item frame will automatically fill in as you fill in the one you're carrying. So if you do lose your map, just make another copy of the one in the item frame. And that's exploring the overworld in a nutshell. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, then please drop me a like and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.